Hey guys, Subtle Static here. Welcome to another video, and also welcome to the first episode of a little Serum series which I've been putting together. So I'm going to be running it over the next few months, I guess, however long it takes anyway. But basically the whole aim of it is whether you've been using Serum for quite a long time and you've got a pretty good idea of what you're doing, or if you've literally only just opened it up, you'll be able to follow and you'll learn a heap of stuff. So today, all I want to show you is Unison. A lot of the different features with Unison get overlooked. So a perfect example of trying to play with Unison is a super saw. So let's have a listen, because this is what we're going to make. Sounds pretty nice. So we're going to look at how we can make this, what's so special about this type of Unison that we're using, and let's get to it. So in the top right hand corner here, if you just press that, the menu button, and then go to initial preset, here we go. We've just got our standard preset that is just a standard saw wave. So what we want to do is, obviously we're going to be playing with our Unison. So let's get the bass of our sound. So when I play this, you'll sort of notice it going up. So what Unison does, if you don't know, it just adds extra voices to your sound. So this saw wave, it's got 7 voices, and this little detune thing decides how far apart they are from the main tuning. So no tuning, very detuned. But it creates quite a nice sound when you bring them fairly close together. So that's all we're doing with this oscillator for now. Now, if we head over to oscillator B, we can just tap up here and that activates it. So now we've got 2 oscillators running. With our Unison on this one, we're going to put it up at about 5. So that hasn't changed the sound drastically. But what we do now is this little octave thing here. We can just click and drag and we'll put it down to 1. So now it sounds like this, as opposed to this. It's a pretty big difference. So that's kind of the main sound of our super saw that we've got here. We do want to, however, activate our sub just to give it a bit more fullness to the sound. So if we just go over here and click sub, it's standard set at a saw wave for the sub, but we're going to have it as a saw wave. And we'll drop the octave down 1, which is just down here. So now we sound like this. Still not much different, but just makes it a little bit fuller. All right, so the next thing we're going to play with is the global settings, because that's where we can mess with Unison. We can play with how it works and manipulate it to how we want it to sound. So let's click on global. Now, this looks a little bit daunting at first, I'm sure, but if we go over here, we've got a little setting page for Unison. So what we want to do is, today we're basically just going to be focusing on the stack, and we're also going to be focusing on mode. So for our stack, let's just listen to the sound when I change it. So there's quite a few different settings on this stack feature, but basically what it does, it adds an extra layer of Unison, whether it's an octave up. There's one setting on there where you might have heard where it adds a 7th note into that octave and also centered down. So it can add up to 2 octaves down for a layer. So for this first one, we're just going to do 12 times 1. So that just adds 1 extra octave of a layer, as opposed to this. Yep. And for the second oscillator, which is this side down here, we are going to set that to center -12, so it's going down 1 octave. So it sounds like a pretty full super saw. But if we head over to the oscillators, we're still going to be playing with global a bit. and we just look at the detune, the way that it works. So if we head over here to our little mode box, we've got a few different options here, but what we're going to be worrying about is super. So we want to change both of these to super, which you can either do through the menu or you can just press the button there. Now it sounds like this now. So if we're heading back into oscillator and we click on our detune, we'll see that it's less linear now. It's very much more spaced out. And the center ones are a bit tighter and the outward ones are more loose. So that gives us the proper real supersaw sound, which is sounding like this now. So a very nice full supersaw sound. But sometimes that can be a little bit harsh in a song. So what we can do is we've got a little filter box over here. So this is Serum's inbuilt filter. What we do is we just click that to activate it. And here you can select your different filter types. For now, we're just going to press this button a few times to get to MG low 24. So currently this is only affecting our A oscillator. So that's hitting this one to here. What we want is that to affect our B oscillator and also our sub oscillator. So let's select B and also let's select sub. So now if we play, yeah, and feel free to play with these settings too. So like you can change the res, you can change the drive, you can change the fatness, and yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Alright, so that's how you make a supersaw in Serum with a couple of advanced little features there with the whole detune and Unison modifications there. So even if you've been using this a long time, I do hope you've learned something. But if you've got any questions, just leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. So in the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to make a pad synth in Serum. So it's going to be playing with envelopes, LFO, few little tricky things in there as well. But yeah, stay tuned for the next one. So thanks heaps, guys. Bye.